Well, we're going to be looking at 10.3, area of circles and sectors. So I want you to make sure that you do this first section on your own, areas of circles and sectors, and then as well, this is just review some vocabulary. We're talking about all of these. I want you to take a minute, think about what these are, try to answer them. This is just kind of what we're talking about in this video today. Some of these things might come up, so you want to be familiar with them. Something like the base of a triangle or the leg, okay? The angle with the vertex in the center of a circle, okay? That's a central angle. Length of an altitude, that would be the height. I don't know how to spell, but that's okay. Distance between two bases, that's also the height. And a portion of a circle defined by two endpoints. It's a chord. And any side would be a base. Okay? Then I want you to look at your textbook and define the sector of a circle in your own words, just so you know. 10.3, let's go over there. So 10.3, we open the book. Okay, 10.3, it's right here on page 743. So if we want to try to define a sector of a circle, you might see a lot of pictures of pizza, okay? Pizza or pie or pizza pie. That's definitely something that we're talking about. Maybe you just want to draw a picture of your very best pizza with, some stuff on there, okay? All right. And then from here, we're going to look at our second page, and we're going to find the area of each circle. Before we do that, let's talk about what area is in the formula. So the area is obviously the surface amount that a circle would take up, not just the distance around a circle, but all the measure of what's inside the circle. That's going to be the area. We talk about it here, the way that we get our formula for area and for sectors of circles is if we kind of cut up these pieces of a circle into smaller pieces, we actually can get something sort of like a parallelogram. We put them back and forth the way that that it shows here in this picture. We cut it all into pieces. You could do this with the pizza. If you slice it into small pieces, you could get it into like a parallelogram looking thing. Alright, and we end up getting this formula. The area of a circle is pi r squared. You're going to want to write that down. Make sure you have it somewhere in your notes because you're going to want it. Pi r squared, r standing for radius, obviously. All we do is plug in what we know, we plug and chug from there. Pi r squared. And then we've got one other formula that might look a little bit familiar to you. Okay, we've got the sector of a circle. Area of a sector. Okay, sector is just a slice, like a slice of pizza, a small section of a circle. And the formula is similar to our length of an arc. It's that x over 360 times, but instead of the 2 pi r for length of an arc, we're doing x over 360 equals pi r squared. So that section times 360, x being the measure of the central angle, and pi r squared being the formula for area of a circle. Okay, so we're basically going to be using that information to solve the problems in our lesson today. So if you look here, if we're trying to find the area, well, our formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. Well, they give us here the diameter. The diameter goes all the way across. Well, we're not looking for the diameter. We want the radius, which would be half of that, or 9. So we would do 3.14 times, and it's not 3.14 times 9 squared. It's just the radius that's being squared. If you remember your exponent rules, it's just going to be 9 squared, okay? Just times 9 squared. So whenever we see this, we don't multiply 3.14 times 9 and then square our answer. Following PEMDAS, our order of operations, we're going to want to do just the exponent first. So if we do 9 squared, that's going to be 9 times 9 is 81. So we have 3.14 times 81. And 3.14 times 81 equals, if we're going to round it to the tenths place or the first decimal place, we would have 254.3. Okay, 254.3. So, same process with this number 2. Area equals pi r squared. Well, they give us the radius this time, so all we need is 3.14 times 7 squared. So 3.14 times 49. And that equals 153.86. If we round it up, it would be 0.9. Okay, 153.9. Alright, so now don't worry about putting in this right here. This is not important. What we are going to do is we're going to use our formula for area of a circle sector. So you might want to write this down. It's good practice. Probably put that in your notes. Very important to have. Area of a circle sector is going to be x over 360 times pi r squared. Okay, I can make that look better. Let's try that one more time. Pi r squared. Not too much better. Alright, our x is our degrees right here, and our radius is 4 right here. So we're going to plug that into our formula. So with our x being 55, so we've got 55 over 360 times 3.14 times 4 squared. Okay? So you can plug that all into your calculator at once, or you can do 55 divided by 360. Okay? And we can get a good decimal. We can say it would be like 0.1527 repeating, and then multiply that times 3.14, and we know 4 times 4 is 16, so we'll do that answer, 0.1527 times 3.14 times 16, to get our answer of 7 point, and if we're rounding it to the first decimal place, it would be 7.6716. Okay. Again, you can enter that all into your calculator if you wanted to at one time. We could do it here. I'll show you. Parentheses 55 divided by 360 times 3.14 times 16 equals 7.67, which again is 7.7. Okay, so don't worry about doing this right here. That's fine. The rest of that I'm expecting you to do. But let's go over to the next page. Okay, we've got here some chances to work on our area, so I'm wanting you to go ahead and do 1 through 3. Do 1 through 3, that's all we're doing is we're finding our area. So again, it's pi times radius squared. So here we're going to do 3.14 times 25. Okay. not too hard. Here, you just have to make sure you pay attention. If they give you that whole diameter, you need just the half. So it'll be 3.14 times 10 squared. Okay? And over here, you can figure that one out and use your calculator to do the rest. Down here, I definitely want you to figure out how we're doing this. So this is essentially kind of like what we did in our previous lessons with circles. So we're flipping it around so that you can find the other information. Okay, so like in number 8, we're going to find the diameter of a circle when given the area. So when we use our formula, A equals pi times radius squared. When given the area, 490.9 equals 3.14 times radius squared. Well, we just have to divide both sides by 3.14 because we're trying to isolate our radius so we can solve for our radius, because it tells us we need to find the diameter, but we need to find the radius before we can find the diameter. So we divide both sides by 3.14. Of course, over here it's going to cancel, but over here, when we do 490.9 divided by 3.14, we get our answer of a big number, 156 point, let's do 338, okay, equals r squared. Okay, but that's not our answer for radius, is it? We've got to do the square root. Okay, the square root of this answer. So 156.338. If we get the square root of that. Okay, so in order to solve, we've got to square root both sides. So when we square root this, we end up with 12.5, and I'm going to just leave it at 12.5. First decimal place will be okay. Okay, and these two are going to cancel each other out. We remember that. So you end up with the radius is 12.5, but that's not our answer yet, right? We want to find diameter. Well, diameter is twice of the radius, so we just multiply this times 2 to get our answer of 25. So our final answer is 25. Okay, from here, let's move on to the next page. I don't expect you to do anything else on this page, so you want to cross these out, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 9, and 10. You don't have to do them. Then over here, I definitely want you to look at the area of sectors. Use this formula. Okay, so I'll walk you through 1 or 2, and that's what I want you to do. So if we look at actually these first 3, we're doing the shaded sectors. That's what we're trying to find, the area of the shaded sector. So we want to use our formula, A equals x over 360 times pi r squared. Okay. Well, we see that our shaded area, the angle is 45, so 45 over 360 times 3.14, and our radius is 3 times 3 squared. Okay, you can plug that all into your calculator and get your answer. Again, here we see that 100 is going to be our x, so it'll be 100 over 360 times 3.14 times 10 squared. And then here, this one's a little bit more tricky. You got to pay attention. We're doing the shaded area here, and it tells us that the unshaded area is 20 degrees. So we do 360 minus 20 to get 340. 340 is going to be the degrees of all of this shaded area in here. So this big old angle is 340 degrees. That's what we're looking for. So we're actually going to set this up as 340 over 360 times pi 3.14 times our radius of 7 squared. Okay, your calculator can do most of this work. Down here we're talking about a word problem. You can read it. Samantha wants to have sandwiches. She cuts the sandwiches into circles. I guess doesn't want the crust. Whatever. She cuts each circle into 3 congruent pieces. What's the area of each piece? Okay, so the area would be, we're trying to find what's this right here. So the shaded amount of that. And you're like, but there's no x here. What is x going to be? Huh? Okay. Well, how much is an entire circle? Okay, an entire circle. Well, that's always 360 degrees, right? Well, she said she cut it into 3 congruent pieces. Means they're exactly the same. So if you divided 360 by 3, we get 120. 120. So they're each at 120 degrees, so our mystery number, when this is 2.5, the radius, our angle is 120 degrees. Okay, and all you need to do is to solve from there just like we solved up here. Okay, so you got to pay attention. This one, not too tricky. Talking about 3 congruent pieces, and it already gives you that radius. So pretty good looking sandwich triangles, I guess, or circular pieces, sectors. So kind of like slices of a pie, or I guess in this case is slices of a sandwich. Alright, so this is what I expect you to do on the last page here. This, again, where you're going to get graded most heavily. So, you can definitely do these first 3. Okay, do those 3. Then I want you to do 4 and 5. I'll tell you what, let's just do 5. And then, lastly, I want you to do 9 and 10. Okay, so that's 5, 7. You know what? Let's do 8, 9, and 10. That'll make it an even 8. And that'll mean that they're each worth, wow, an even 8. Sorry guys, I'm your math teacher, but I can't add. Okay, let's have you guys do number 7 as well. Okay, that way you'll have 8 problems to do. They'll each be worth 5 points each. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those are your problems that you've got to do. Hopefully you've got all the resources you need, and you can get some more information from the video attached to this lesson as well.